I'm sticking by what I said. I feel next step, you know, we'll see whether that happens or not. Either way, I think
there's a bit of work to do, I think, today against Rebels, who I know looked pretty disappointing against Virtus.pro, but Virtus.pro are really looking at one of our best teams. Here we go, though. They're off to a good start. To Miss Robbie, getting rid of Alems there, who had no... You've got the traps coming out of the Thorn, but that really doesn't feel like enough to be able to hold out here for this dance that we're no doubt about to see from the Hibana opening up the full.
Fenor does pick up one onto Robbie. They need to be careful here as well because they've allowed Fenor back up onto the top floor. This could be disastrous from Shifter's perspective. Blaz managed to get Linku. It's all about what Fenor does here because there's an opportunity for Shifters here to recognise, hang on, they're a little bit light on site. We can just push P4. I said we needed more from him and he delivers in round one. He cuts off that flank. He cuts off whatever it was that Fenor was up to. That is massive. Shifters are seriously in the driving seat now.
I was going to say, what the hell's Marto up to? He knows that they're trying to play this dance around the execute here. What's he thinking he can do playing up on main stairs? He's on the second floor, Tim, and this execute's going down. The man's in Narnia. All right. Okay, I mean, it's quite coincidental. Two Salmons come down and it's gone. Wonderful stuff. And now it's opened like a tin of beans, Tim. They can see absolutely everything in there. And this is when it's going to start getting really rough for Rebels to hold on unless Marto on the flank can get rid of one. Freck elsewhere gets one back. Those Shifters still in charge. 4v3 and the plant is going down.
I think Marto's maybe hoping for the possibility of a nitro from underneath. He had to leave Janitor, so, you know, why not then play to those strengths? Still manages to take down P4, stops the plant, but Lasmu manages to find Fenor 3 versus 2 as Marto works his way back upstairs. But this is where Rebels could start getting caught out because as soon as Shifters are aware, they have to push back into the site, and there it is. Lasmo picks up one, Robbie the other. They'd lost site control. V5 throughout. This time your 4v5, as you've quite rightly said, also includes a Vigil as well, which could be a problem. Quite a selfish operator, doesn't bring a lot of utility for the team, so all you're left with now is the gun, and he's trying to get that SMG-12 working. Does manage to find one kill onto Lasmo, but they did lose the smoke along the way. Vigil dealt with. Shifters have got him in their pocket at the minute, Des.
Yeah, he was in a bit of no man's land there, to be fair. 3 players around him on that top floor. At the very least, he managed to get rid of one. But the problem is, every other player on his team has collapsed around him. It's all down to Linku by himself inside his site. You'd be forgiven for not thinking we were attacking into basement right now. But again, there are 3 players flooding in around him. There's nothing he can do to hold on. Another collapse.
Time. And unfortunately, Fenor achieved neither of those on that bracket final. Both lower bracket finalists go through to the major, as do both upper bracket finalists. So just winning the next game after this is enough to get to the major.
Well, here we go. Smoke is coming out. Trying to look for the way 4, but it's a bit of bait really coming out there. As has to start stepping on forward. Well, look who's got it from ATMs again. Shifters just in full control, knowing every single move the Rebels are going to take. And we're in the face of another 4 versus 2 here. Lems and Fenno try and hold on, but can't even hit the shot they need to. Freck finds his 3rd in the round, and Lems has got to do something. Knows the player still inside of ATMs. A great C4. He's going to find Blaz. But it isn't going to find in the round because that C4 was normally intended to try and deny what's going on upstairs. But a good spray to the wall will get rid of Freck. A 1 versus 2 to go. Lem's winding back the ears here, Tim. He's got 20 seconds to get it done.
Yeah, it's absolutely doable. He's got full HP. The problem that he's got is the time that's passed by because Shifters have been able to get themselves into positions. You've got one outside on the rappel. It's impossible to win now, really, with 50... and there's a good reason why Lems has basically called it a day and he's having a chat with his team and giving them that opportunity here. There's 2 things playing against him. He'll know that he's got an IQ below that can just watch for when he gets on that diffuser, and he knows that he's got Lasmo out on the windows. Because of the changes that we had a while ago on the windows, now your vault animation out.
Sit on your fence, man.
Well, you know, look, I think he knew that the round was done at that point. There was, it's not about, you know, giving up. I think he knows there was no winning that. 4 versus 3 as another entry goes in favour of... Oh, Shifters are running away with this at the minute, Des. And I think that's what comes down to...
We can't all have what we want, unfortunately.
I
don't see a world in which they can hold this out. Like, they can stall a bit longer with Marto here getting out a couple more of these folks. Still got barbed wire in back pocket, interestingly, by the way. P4 gets 1. Marto at least trades it out, but they know exactly where he is. Every single time a Rebels player fires a bullet, there are 2 guns on the side of Shifter's point. For Rebels so far, Tim, they need something real special put together. Now, I did say I wanted to see a bit of change coming out of them. I don't hate what they've gone for here. They've gone for this more aggressive trap-based setup. They've gone for these roamers in the Solus and the Vigil. They're looking to keep themselves busy. And to a point, they did start out that way. I like the early destruction, trying to deal with the shield. And they've got rid of the blitz. Good stuff. Though again, as soon as a bullet comes out, there's an immediate response from the other side. However, I think as you just saw, we've got one player ratting it out inside of CC right now, Tim. That could be very interesting. And he's dead, never mind.
Plant's going down. There's P4's got into position. He sees an opportunity and he's called it. He's going for it. And again, Rebels have been caught away off site and now they have to start fighting back in. Freck manages to get a double. It's all up to Feno. He managed to get one. He's got two more to find. There's the first. 1v2 becomes a 1v1. He's downstairs now and he's searching for Freck, but Freck knows exactly where he is. It doesn't matter. Make it 4 in the round. Make it a clutch. I said Rebels needed something to cling to and Feno just gave it them.
Feno the Fab.
Only one clutch. That's the only reason they've won a round was a clutch that's gone wrong. As his army, maybe the mirror to follow is actually going to be the Cade as well. Very, very sensible.
Moving through the map. Also both great for execution as well as pressing. But the crucial thing about comms like this is you have to then get to the point of execute. Good at making use of the shield though to let Alems get in and get rid of Freck on the entry.
No mute jammer under the stairs or anything. We just saw the death marks failing, but I think that was maybe towards Robbie because we do see that he is in a mute jammer at the minute. Does manage to pick up Linku. And we're going to have Alems as canisters come out. Nitro ripped and ready in hand of Robbie. He's going to send it, but there's nobody there waiting to receive at the minute. The plant is going out. No, he gets him, and that was that prior damage done. Even with a little bit of distance between the Nitro and the Monte, he gets the job done. That's going to find the diffuser down on the ground, but they've managed to get in. Asta's got it in hand, and he's going for it again. Will secure the plant. Kill does come in from P4. This is very winnable for Shifters from this position, but Rebels have managed to relocate. They've got themselves back upstairs at least. Lasmo, he's going to need to find a kill above, surely.
They really thought someone would come and try and play towards open here, but there's no one actually on that side. At the minute, they're all playing out towards square by the looks of it, Tim. Got to force 2 players in for the retake upstairs. There are 2 players up on this first floor, but now they've got to find them. 11s for one, Asta good for another. This one is definitely done, and this is a good post plan being played out by Rebels. Was very nervous for a second that bottled it, Tim. They've done a great job there with the 2 left alive to finally get themselves over the wall behind the Mossy Pest.
Freck just having his opportunity, sees the man above him, can't do anything about it, and I like this. He's been flushed into danger. Feno was there waiting. And here goes the utility. We see the Grim Bees going in. We see the Capitao doing the job on the angles to try and create space for the diffuser to go down. Asta takes some damage, but not enough. He sticks it. I love that from him. P4 cannot get there quickly enough. 4 versus 1 now as it's Robbie on the fight back. 1v4 becomes a 1v3 after he finds Feno. Tries to get his way back into sight. Sees the man, knows that there is one across on the opposite side of cafeteria, but can do nothing about it at the minute. Cannot find an angle. He's fighting instead with the man inside of Archives. Cut down by Alems from that copy window.
This is looking really interesting now. If he gets a kill inside the vault, suddenly a lot of gold starts to become very exposed. And here we go. Oh, he's trying to do his best in, but Freck has hit the deck and turned around and got a freebie. The glass falls because he's gone a little bit too far ahead to him, because look at everyone else. They're upstairs. They're on drones. They're holding angles, yet he's tried to basically pull up what looks like an execute.
They do get Lasmo along the way. That's the guy you're taking down, but of course the Vulcan canisters will be in play, so it doesn't really matter. Robbie is getting tracked by the Deimos at the minute, so he knows that was beautiful teamwork from Shifters there. That's like kind of the unseen teamwork. We'll come back to that. Freck and Blaz managed to get one apiece. After the latest taken down. Feno does get the trade, hits him with the F2, but they are now caught in no man's land. Robbie with one. Blaz picked this advantage there. Beautiful teamwork, beautiful crossfire. They put themselves on or not. Now then, Freck goes over the balcony. I think he's going to have a look for those Windows players, and he gets away with one. Takes down Alems, can't find the second though. Feno really could have done with being in position to prevent them losing the man on the window, because that last Selma charge has gone with him, Des.
One thing he felt they really missed him was a player to open up the double wall and watch that kind of thing from happening. That's what let Freck get inside and get a freebie. They've traded it out. It's not the end of the world, but this is now going to get really scrappy because they haven't got full control of hallway, despite having the operator available to make it happen. Shifters are going to sit and play behind utility, behind their traps, behind the intel, coming out from the Valkyrie and potentially see this one done and over the line. 2 players left. Otherwise, map 1 only goes a certain way, Tim. It's a 1v3 for none other than Marto.
Yeah, he's got to do it now, put his team on his back and get them through this round and keep them fighting. 1v3 becomes 1v2. Can he find the man on the long angle? No, not yet. They know where the push is coming from, and Robbie, he just glides to the side. Leave it at that. No more will be said about it.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty coming out of the side of Shifters. My slight worry now is that we're going on to Cafe, one of them. First thing that makes me a bit nervous too is about the complete lack of hard breach.
Too easy.
Complete lack. They've got hard breach gadgets on side, yeah, but look again, this is the thing about Shifters. Same as on the last map, there is always another gun pointed the way of any Rebels player that shoots. They've always just got an idea in mind, which is always great to see. Tries to crouch walk in through bar, gets figured out, and it's a good response from Laszlo.
And he finds nothing very quickly.
I don't hate that though, because I think that's a risk versus reward play that he's taken there. Oh, he's under as much pressure elsewhere. 100% agree with that, but it's cost him still.
Nah, the problem I've got there is that he dies either way. There's a player in freezer. I feel like there's a lack of intel at the minute, and that's why they lost, you know, Marto to the refrag to Blast underneath as well. So that was more my criticism, that they're just basically walking into a problem, much like they've just, you know, pushed up there into a long angle. It just...
Yeah, it does leave PIP a little bit, you know, uncontested right now, but that's okay, like you say. Problem is, you've got the clash on this side. I mean, look, they're just waiting for him to hop in so they can bring him down. He knows that Freck is there, though, so it's kind of like it's a weird situation. They can't make much happen unless someone makes something happen. So what can they really do about it? The clash is in here now as well to give a little bit more threat, and they feed information down the corridor that Robbie turns into a kill. That is wonderful, and now they've got a crossfire on towards the blitz. He's got to go somewhere else. Marto's wasting really valuable time by being stood here for the last 45 seconds. They need to push double door.
They try to do so. They lose 2 bodies there. P4 with a double at the end. Great clash play, great team play.
The challenge we see teams fall apart at. He's defeated now that they know he's upstairs. Like I've always said, when bullets tend to come from Rebels players, guns tend to look up towards where they came from. Elsewhere, there's at least kills going either way, not involved in the same gunfights, no trade, but separately, we've seen Robbie go and we've seen Linku go.
Yeah, so that's one of those top floor players has been taken out. A beautiful double from Blaz. I just want to pick up on this at this point as well. We saw in the last 2 rounds of Bank, Blaz got Nitro kills. In this round, round 2, so within 4 rounds, he's got 3 Nitro kills. He has been using that utility fantastically on the Valk, and it is such a key thing. Whatever operator you're bringing, you've got to be an expert in that secondary use to get the most value. And again, the trades coming in. You said it in the last map, Des. He has the skills, we know that, but Shifters have the patience, and right now they're giving him nothing.
That's it, isn't it? It's the discipline, the composure, you know, just being ready for anything that comes at them here as well, not even really requiring all 3 of them.
From them. And it's no wonder that Rebels are struggling to find.
Well, Martin's going to try another shield operator. That's his 3rd different one that he's tried across the 2 maps so far. On the entry, though, Lems has fallen down here, losing the ram early on. That is not ideal to Freck. They'll carry on dancing upstairs. T4, good spread of damage there, doing a lot on towards Linku and time there and get himself out of danger.
Yeah, that's a good nade coming in from Marto there. Linko manages to go through and get a kill as well onto Robbie, leaving us now in a 3 versus 3. Lasmo, hello! Picks up a nice knife onto Asta, and another one! 3 on the top floor! Lasmo goes out! Not going to find that floor getting opened up above them. There's not many options. Asta's got a couple of hard breach, but other than that, they're kind of struggling. Maybe some holes with DMRs will be about as good as it gets. P4 is good.
Showed us play so far today, and it is showing in the score at the top of the screen. That said, they get one back on towards Blaz, not the end of the world, and converts it into a second. This is a good little turnaround here from Rebels. An execute that is actually looking like it could work here, but that's a freebie. An instant trade is there, good from Linku to bring it back. And now we've got to see a retake come out in this 2 versus 2 from the Shifters boys.
Yeah, Rebels have done some good work here to give themselves an opportunity. Going to get sprayed down though. Robbie manages to find Linko. Freck gets the other. Shifters again have the answers. They are at least put to the test this time, but they get the job done. They always know what to say, always know what to do and where to look. There's right now, they just feel like they are ahead of time. Down and the Tupperware going with them. That might just give a little bit of an opportunity there. The Warden not able to react quite quickly enough to the impact of that Nitro, but Blaz is there to support, taking down Marto. Asa did find the kill. 3 versus 2 now, as Rebels again managed to get themselves.
While they're going down, and the vertical, and trying to go for a backstab at the same time. Risky TP away from Freck, but he does get away with it here. Tim as Linku falls to Robbie. Surely they don't lose the 3 versus 2, Tim.
Of the plant spot right now. Asa is half health. That is a dangerous spot to be pushing into a DMR. He's 1 or 2 shots max. They now know his position. Are they going to find the pre-fire onto him? No, they are not. Robbie still finds a way. Intel
P4 in the IGLing. He was calling that rotate was going to happen. What?
Hold the angle, but we can see the aggressive drop come in. Robbie sees his man in Pixel, goes for the challenge, loses it. Great start from LMs, manages to give them something. 5 versus 4, and a big entry there for Rebels, and they're looking to get aggressive here, but it's being watched. P4, he's ready for that one. Have to get out of bed sooner than that if you want to catch him out. Freck manages to find Lems as well. 4 versus 3 in what is a very late trade there. We see the track going on to the Ella of Linko as well. 4 versus 2 as Blaz picks up Marto. It's not looking good right now, Des.
They've had one locked away by the grid locks. They've had yellow pings coming through onto them. They've had traps coming through onto another from the Deimos. They've had lion scans going off. There is nothing that the other side Rebels can do right now to surprise them. Maybe win a gunfight, that'll certainly help, but look at that again. Benno gets the kill. Immediately, another gun is pointed his way to secure the trade. Shifters have played a brilliant attack, a brilliant series overall, and they deserve this one. At 2-0.
As well to ask them a few questions about this game, as we're joined by Freck. Goedenavond. How are you feeling about this game? Did you expect it to be that fast?
Bless you. Like we knew their weaknesses, we played to it, and it made it quick. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, looking at you guys play against them, it felt like you had their number the whole time. Like literally, you were reading them so well. I'm just wondering how much of that was heavy prepping or adaptation in the game.
I mean, we already knew what they were going to do. So I think it's mostly prepping. And then it's always like, are they going to do it in the game? And then they do it, and then you just play onto it. So mostly up to Laurie, Lilun.
Do you think that it is a tier 2 team's mistake coming into tier 1 to just play the same maps and play the same strategies again in a BO3, not expecting that the teams in front of you will counter-strat you?
I mean, it's kind of hard for them, right? Because there's 2 players that play T1, so it's all new for them, and they're just trying to learn. And yeah, it's hard, you know, to learn everything. And if there's only 2 people that like have played higher up, they're the only ones that can teach you, or your coach, of course. But the other way is just to play, to learn. So it's gonna take some time.
Freck, it feels like a long time since we've spoken to you, so congratulations on the win, first and foremost. Last year we spoke about Robbie and about Lasmo alongside you on the front line. And I suppose we saw at some points across the year inconsistency. It felt like that front line was really working today, so is that something that you've put a lot of effort into? Yeah,
I mean, I think it's just confidence, because you can see, like, the stuff that Vivi pulls out, like he's just knifing people and then flick. I don't know what he's doing, but like he does the craziest stuff every time, and he's so good mechanically. And I think for Rob is already getting into it. Rob is playing a lot better already. Yeah. And he's just consistently showing it.
All right, then one more question before we let you go. Your next match in this lower bracket is going to be against the loser of Twisted Minds and G2. Who do you think you're playing against, and how do you feel about that game?
Yeah, probably Twisted, to be honest. We've played them in the Invite Qual finals. Or not finals, it was like semi-finals. We lost, I don't know. But yeah, we play pretty shit. Again, we know how they play, so we'll be ready.
It's going to be a very different game style if it is them, right?
Compared to today?
Yeah.
I mean, they're kind of like the same Chaos playstyle, you know? But I think Twisted, they're more experienced. They know how to play it, when to play it a lot better, so yeah.
Fair. We'll see if that's the match that you get for tomorrow. For now, good luck with the preparation, and we'll speak to you soon.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. I guess he's secret weapon as well. But I think on the side of Rebels, I think it's fine to recognize that your aggression is your main weapon. I think the main thing is weaponize that at the right moment. Know when to aggress. Wait maybe till 1 minute before they execute, when everyone has got their utility, and get aggressive then. But I think they were really struggling to find the right moment to do it. And when you do it all the time, shifters were ready all the time to punish it. And that's why they got punished all the time.
I feel like a lot of mature words as well that we were hearing from Freck about like the experience or the confidence they are having, the kind of improvement that they're working on with that roster.